yourself.
Feeling like Gresh unleashed. Bullet Club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. I bet you thought you the EST, but homie, you don't even really go here. I'm better than you and you know it. Scumbag, baby, I'ma make that clear. Making many moves while I'm headed on a flight. I'm the megastar, baby, on these LA nights. Putting on 5-star classics, contract year, cause today is a whole new price. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. This is episode 115 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always, the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And this is another rare edition of retro vibes here on the Gresh Unleashed podcast, because joining me as always is my guy, my main man, one of my main mans. I have three people I rock with. DJ Highlight, wishing him good vibes as always, and my guy representing Sucio Boys podcast, I should say, as well as the giant of the family. He is Jermaine. How's your day been, my brother?
It's been kind of crazy. Trying to, like when you try to figure something out and you think you got it figured out, and you've been working at it, and then you finally like try it and it still don't work. And you just like, I just wasted all of this time thinking that this was going to work and this is not working.
That sounds like me, because I was doing a show between yesterday. It was last minute. Like they said, hey, we need somebody. We need a A2. So can you slide through yesterday and today? I'm like, I can use the extra money. Sure, I can slide through. And it was actually pretty chill. Like I was expecting chaos, but I think the team that they threw me with, I have experience with them in the past, to where there's a synergy there, to where there's no mistakes, and it was a smooth transition with everybody and everything. And it was like the client had no complaints. We had no complaints. The only complaints we had was basically them giving us bullshit gear, but that's a conversation for another time in another place off air. But we made it work. We did our thing, and no complaints. One of the attendees for the event was Yara Shahidi. Is that how you say her name? From Blackish?
Yes, sir. That is exactly how you say her name.
Yeah, she had a lot to say because she was like the keynote speaker for this event, and I'm like, she's actually very intelligent for a 25-year-old.
Yeah, bro. I love when you hear like, and let's just call a spade a spade. There's going to be some demographics, some people and whatnot. You're going to hear them speak, and if you don't really know them or haven't heard them speak or converse or whatever, and they're going to shock you with their intelligence or how they come off. It's either the level of intelligence, the thoughtfulness, the depth that person has is going to be something that's going to catch you off guard about the way they speak and their vibe, and I love that.
Oh yeah, like I'm like, oh okay, she knows she knows what she's doing. She knows how the game works. Like she balancing doing filming and going to school, because she's actually went to Harvard after filming season 1 of Grownish, the spinoff of Blackish. And she was like, she was like, you could take as many gap years as you want, as long as you get your fall freshman year. And she was like, nah, I'm gonna lock in on this. And she found that perfect balance. And then it was a season 2 because she was basically explaining like how you go into these shows not expecting to get picked up for a new season, because you always expect for that finale because especially in today's climate where a lot of shows just does not go past season 1 or season 2, especially like on HBO Max and all that stuff, they don't cancel so many teen dramas, teen drama or teen anything. Like I don't know if you follow that, but like the Gossip Girl reboots, the what else? Pretty Little Liars reboots. Like it's so many like IPs from like 2005, 2006 that they rebooted for the network and just got canceled and in like in a heartbeat because they just suck at originality.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy. Like I don't really follow those shows at all because I hardly ever like if it's
I
not
mean,
sports
just
or
tell the spade,
wrestling.
spade. We grown. It's like that's not our
That
demographic.
too, that too. Like, bro, like let me tell you how far behind I am. I still like people were talking about the Power spinoffs. I still have not finished like the last full season of the original Power.
Oh, the final season?
Yeah.
Nah.
I still need to catch up on Law and Order Organized Crime. I still need bro, there's so many shows I need to catch up on. Like,
I'm still not finished with Attack on Titan.
And don't even talk about anime. I like dropped off anime like and not even on purpose. It was just like literally it was some life stuff and then
I
I
will
just stopped
tell you,
watching it.
if you want to bump up something recent that bump up in your queue, it's 8 episodes, so it's real quick. Devil May Cry on Netflix. I just finished that today, and outside of a certain character that was annoying the shit out of me, like she was like literally doing some of the dumbest thing, especially when the main guy saved her life 4 times. Spoiler alert, and she still was on her fuckery, and I'm like, I need him to kill her next season. But you know how these animes go. They want to build up tension and romance, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I want her to be compromised to a permanent end. I don't want.
God damn, Gresh.
I do not want to see her no more. But I already know I'm probably gonna have to eventually. They're gonna try to win me over, but the way she was moving this season, I'm like, no, girl, fuck you and everything you stand for.
Like there's gonna be sometimes there's gonna be those characters in certain shows and whatnot that are gonna like really get on your nerves.
Yes.
Matter of fact, another show that I need to finish, Ozark. I gotta see where I'm
Ozark.
at
That's
on
on
Ozark.
Netflix.
I think it was. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but I know that
I think I only got 1 episode in. And I just never finished it.
bro. Ozark is good. It got me hooked in. But like with Ozark, Power, a couple of those shows, I have to go back and see where actually I left off, and then pick up kind of refresh, pick up where I left off, so on and so forth. I finally finished Top Boy. Like last week, I think is when I finally like finished the last few episodes of the last season of that one.
Oh, that's what's up. It's a lot of shit. Like when I tell you, my queue is so long. Like I have shows that I was supposed to start in 2020. Here it is, 2025.
Bruh, trust me, you are preaching to the choir, my friend.
Yeah, but other than that, like yeah, like entertainment wise, we're all gonna get caught up. But yo, man, it is officially WrestleMania week for the time that you guys are checking this out. Our boy Jermaine is somewhere sipping some strong liquor in Las Vegas or sleeping, depending on what time he lands and what's going on. But he is there partying up on behalf of all of us because your boy couldn't make it because of family obligations. But hey, you live and you learn. But I am aiming for New Orleans. Like that is, I'm going to start saving up for that now so I can ball and not have to worry about the consequences.
Brother, look here. If this trip was not prepaid for already and done very safely, carefully, and wisely way ahead of time, I would not be going. I promise you, I would not be going. And we've talked about this off air. I would not be doing this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it was already done, paid for, taken care of, and everything. And it came at a great time for me to like kind of, it's gonna be
disconnect.
some work involved, but you do need to pull away, disconnect a little bit, and then reset yourself.
Because outside of Wale Mania and probably you watching Mania that weekend Stand and Deliver, you pretty much on mini vacation. So
yeah, we're going to Ashe Wale Mania, and we're going to go also to Fourth Row.
I've been meaning to check out Ashe. Like
Yeah,
I
I
literally have
gotta.
not gotten around to it.
I remember watching the very first one, or some highlights and stuff, and I was like, "Bro, this is dope." And then when they started the YouTube channel, that's another thing that's in my queue that I have to
Check
go
out the
through
YouTube
and
channel. Yeah,
check
I'm gonna
out.
definitely
Yeah,
check it. I'm gonna definitely check it out because outside of WWE and AEW, the only independent companies I watch is DPW.
okay.
Like, and I try to catch up with TNA, but they've done some recent stuff that I'm just like, I'm not gonna be fake outraged. I'm just gonna just not watch. I'm like the whole Tessa
Mhm.
move still being relevant. Like, I don't rock with him like that. But
Yeah,
I'm not finna get online and be like, yo, fuck this company and still watch. Like, I'm just not gonna watch. Like, that's me. Like, I'm
yeah,
like, if I don't rock with something, I'll be like, I'm gonna take a break. And I
right.
legit take breaks. Like, I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, man. I may not like the way they move and stuff like that, and some of those moves, just like you just reiterated, but
The Gail
I,
Kim
I,
situation. So
man, that right there, and just knowing like that she left WWE on bad terms. I can't even remember all the exact details. I just know she was on very bad terms with them, and she even swore off like I'm never going back there or whatever. Um, and how happy she was, and then how long she had been there, not only as a wrestler but also behind the scenes and whatnot after she retired in ring. You just don't do people like that. And there's got to be some sort of way, some sort of solution, some sort of something that you can come up with to figure something out. You just don't do people, especially long term good people. You just don't do them like that.
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so instead of doing the whole fake outrage bullshit that everybody be doing, I just don't show up. I don't show up. I don't tune in to none of that stuff. So, but what we are tuning in for those of you who don't know, to the primary bread and butter, not the bread and butter. Uh, ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I just checked that. But the primary bread and butter for today's episode is we are revisiting a retro episode, which is also apropos because for it to be WrestleMania week in 2025, we're stepping back 21 years ago to 2004 for a go home edition of SmackDown. Like we would do Raw, but seeing as WWE
Hmm.
made the move to Netflix with the Raw archive, we have no access to 2004 yet, unfortunately.
Bruh, like when you told me that, I was like, I can gain access to a Netflix account.
I even no. The thing is, I have a VPN and I checked,
Right.
and
You
it's still not on
is
there.
that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't even it didn't even make sense for me to get access to the Netflix account. So it was just like, okay, why? Like
It's
we
stupid.
can't even watch it.
Like it's stupid
And
to me. Like you could have just kept the archive on Peacock.
bro, it was what I think happens is it's got to be some licensing thing or something like that. That's the only thing that I could think of, and the only way that this would work out the way it did is if Netflix bought the licensing to not only broadcast Raw live, but also stream the catalog as well. That's the only way I could see that this happened, worked out, what have you.
I know I read somewhere where they said, I think it was Fightful. They basically said Netflix. The reason why Netflix isn't uploading the entire, they have access to the entire archive, but they're slowly uploading it because they want you to keep paying for their service, and don't want you to have it all at once. Some type of bullshit. Like I'm like, it's fucking stupid. Just put the episodes on YouTube like you do WCW and all that stuff, and we can call it a
Hmm.
day.
Exactly, man. Like, come on. Like, it is. I just hate it because they're making it way too difficult. Just this is a perfect insert for the Batista video. Give me what I want. Like just give me what I want.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Hey, ow. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, sorry. I was listening to that song today. That's why I said that.
Man, look, don't start getting you, bruh. Rick James. Man,
Rick James, bitch.
come on, dog. That's why that segment on Chappelle's show hit home extra for me because I was always a huge Rick James fan, even as a kid. Like
No,
I
what?
just thought Rick James was the coolest dude.
I ain't gonna hold you.
And
I ain't even know that was a real person until I heard his music.
bruh, are you serious?
I saw the Dave Chappelle stuff first before I saw Rick James, and I was like, "Oh, this ain't a
Gotcha.
gimmick."
You
Keep
said,
in mind,
wait,
I was
that's a
born in
real
'94.
person?
I was born in
That
'94, so like
right.
I didn't really
That's
start getting introduced to a lot of the classics until like 2004,
right.
2005.
I forget that. I forget that. Like, and then plus, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, growing up in New Orleans, I'm pretty sure told this story before on the pod. But like, our rap station plays old school music on Sundays.
Mm,
So, and live music is a part of the culture. So, all that music, old school music, live music, different form, like all that kind of stuff, like we're into all of that. So, like that's normal for us. Even though I know I'm older, it's just normal for us. It may not be normal for everybody else, but that's just like commonplace for us.
true, true, true. So, hey, man, but then it's like I got introduced Rick James,
Mm-hmm.
James Brown,
Yes.
Mike, and Prince. I didn't
Yes.
really lean towards Prince. I lean more towards Mike.
Okay.
I like isn't like I can respect both artists because it was always a rivalry between Prince and Mike when it comes to fans. And probably them too, but yeah, I was always more of a Mike fan and the Jackson Five. It's like I earned everybody music wise in reverse. And
Okay.
then I'll switch it to the comedy side. I didn't really learn about Richard Pryor until well after he died.
Bruh, like this is why I say I was so privileged to be born and grow up in the era that I grew up in because like I had a good mix of crossing between certain eras that were like golden eras and like comedy, wrestling, sports, like music. Like I just got I lucked out,
Yeah.
because I came in on the tail end of what Richard Pryor was doing, and I saw was there for the rise of. I was very young, and I wasn't always supposed to see it, but I saw the rise of Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw the different all of that kind of stuff, like rap music and everything, like being born and becoming big time mainstream, and then gangster rap, East versus West, and like the South rap, like all of it. Like I've been fortunate enough. This is a stupid fly that they let in when they let the dog out. But anyway, but no, man, it's just been dope to see all of that, man. Especially like with pro wrestling, like what we're here to talk about, like just to see those eras cross and to see it come from the local regionalized airing of it to the worldwide spectacle that it is now. Like it's been pretty dope.
Did we consider we talk about spectacles and times and peak. Do we consider 2004 peak? Because I know a lot of people don't really consider it like the peak era, if you will.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think so. I think it was. I think '04 was like start of the downside after the Attitude Era ended, and it took them a couple years before they figured it out. And if we're gonna be quite honest, that to me was like a down year because I don't really remember it. I started to lose out watching and losing interest in it honestly after WrestleMania 19.
I ain't gonna hold you. When I was watching this, I was like, damn, I don't remember none of this shit.
Nope.
It's the SmackDown side because I feel like growing up because I didn't really tap back into wrestling because I fell out between 2001, I should
Mhm.
say 2002 and 2005, 2006. And that was because I was watching it with my older siblings. When they started
Mhm.
watching it, I kind of just went outside. Like I just went out to play basketball. I didn't really experience 2004, 2005 SmackDown in real person, like in real time, like everybody else. I knew of it. Like people at school
Right.
still talked about it, but as far as me
Right.
watching
Right.
it,
Right.
I was outside on my bike. I was going around the corner to the gas station to get some snacks and junk food that I probably shouldn't have done, but I got it anyway because I was a kid just living life. I wish I could go back because no bills. That was a brilliant time.
Brother. Man,
But
listen. Yeah, it was for me, it was just having a kid and not really always having the time. And then even when I did have the time and I would sit there with him and stuff, it would be like we would be playing video games or whatever, or watching something else. And it was fun. It was fun to keep up with, and like I would peek in or see results or something like that, and like kind of loosely keep track of it. But I wasn't like you said, I wasn't just plugged right in. So we're both in the same boat.
ah, so yeah, it was like when I did come back, because I was like when I watching this episode that we're gonna talk about,
Mhm.
I was like, damn, I really did miss peak Eddie Guerrero because this dude was entertaining as hell on this episode. I can give him that. Like I'm like, yo, this dude had it. He
Bro,
had
even the recap stuff that they were showing from the previous week or so in the previous episodes and the whatnot, like all of that was extremely entertaining. And I remember like some of those parts and the whole I lied and the whole lie cheat steal thing.
yeah,
Like,
man.
man, come on, man. Like I remember that happening back then, but like I said, I only remember bits and pieces of that era. I don't remember like full blown storylines and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, watching this, I was just like, yo, this definitely better than whatever the hell they be doing. Because you watch SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Was I the only one that was bored?
I think it's a combination of them having 3 hours to fill now and also not knowing, especially during Mania season, when you may have people from Raw coming to SmackDown and you're having to write them in, what have you. So it's there's a lot going on there, and I always try to give grace. I always try to give grace. It don't matter what company it is, what show it is. I always try to give at least a little grace. But yeah, it did feel like
You can tell
it
like
kind
it's
of
like
drug out,
it drug
like.
out, and it felt like they was saying, okay, so we already know you're gonna watch
Mhm. Wow, we got you
WrestleMania.
here.
We got you here, so just stick with it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So
Man, but I mean, this SmackDown that we watched the retro episode after watching like just this past Friday, I'm just like, man, this was like boom, boom. Like
mhm.
there were some pieces where I kind of like fast forwarded through, but it
Oh
was
yeah,
only
yeah.
like like entrances or stuff like that, or like some of the recap stuff. Like, okay, I know what happened here. Like maybe some of that. But as far as like some of the other segments and whatnot, like a perfect example. Um, I mean, we can get into it if you want, but I can wait. But it was just there was one like backstage segment, I'll say.
Mhm.
Normally those I'm like, okay, we already know what this is. But I watched it because I wanted to see exactly how they went about it, and I wanted to see how that would come across and see if this from 21 years ago would capture my attention more than some of the same stuff that they're doing now, and it did.
It did. And with that being said, yo, it is that time for once again for us to step back into our time machine to review the episode of WWE SmackDown from March 11, 2004, the go home edition of SmackDown before WrestleMania 20, where it all begins again. And this episode was primarily Stone focused on Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brock Lesnar with
Mm-hmm.
Paul Heyman, because for those of you who don't remember, probably all two of you, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg faced off before they faced off in 2018 over 2016 and 2018, I should say, over they basically did it the right way in 2018, 2016. Whereas this one, it was pretty much all hype and the execution was a dud. But this episode was basically Stone Cold Steve Austin threatening to come to SmackDown so that he can get his ATV back that Brock Lesnar stole. And I ain't gonna hold you. This episode basically had me hooked. And I guess you could say you can blame it on nostalgia for like shout out to Math over at Black Wrestling nostalgia addict. So that was how I was feeling to get through this episode. Also, I was just like I just went in with an open mind. Like I needed something to like release myself as far as basically fresh off of work to see, okay, let's see what the vibe is on. And yeah, this episode of SmackDown was basically a time because I love the opening like the opening graphic. I ain't gonna hold you. That I was like, bro, this is like I get what they're doing now. They're trying to do the whole MCU thing with the whole then, now, forever together. I'm like, but this right here is like, and then we start out with the I want it all. Yes, that's the sex. What's the sex? I don't even know the lyrics to it. I just know that part. I want it all. SX the sex. What sucks? Sex up, suck. I want it all. The best. Come on. Damn.
It's like at some point you tune out the lyrics.
Yep.
Because you're so focused on the music and the graphics. And like I can see that definitely happening. But one thing that was kind of prominent was the fist.
We're fisting.
Hey, yo. I'm just saying. I
no Roman Reigns. The ooh-ah. The ooh-ah, man.
Man, give it some context, please, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But like, nah, like it was just it was one of those things, man, where like, man, I miss that. Like I was a nostalgia freak. I definitely was a nostalgia freak.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and we they're live in Atlantic. Is that what was that? They were in Atlantic City. Atlantic City. I've never been to Atlantic City. I need to go.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't travel a lot unless it's for work. I need to start. I feel like 1 year I'm just gonna take a leap year of everything when I get my money right and save. I'm gonna take a leap year and just go everywhere and just.
Bruh.
I'm gonna go everywhere except for the sundown cities. Y'all can kiss my ass.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, nah, fuck y'all.
No, but like I promise, bro. Like, it's some of that nostalgia, bro. It be bringing me back, man. I'm not gonna lie. It really be bringing me back, bro. Like another thing I miss is like the stage setup.
Oh yeah, this one was what it was the fist, but it was a flat surface.
Yeah.
From the stage to the ring, except for the side on the side, where the Rey Mysterio jump through be happening.
I miss stages. I miss what is it? I miss like the ramp. Cause I remember like old school NWA WCW when they would have a Clash of the Champions pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
You would come from the back and it would be on a stage and there would be a ramp that led directly to the ring apron.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They used it in as recently as I believe TNA and AEW.
Yes.
They stopped it in AEW because Adam Cole got injured, but
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it in TNA. Yeah, and I've seen it in TNA both eras, the current era and the Hogan and Bischoff era.
Man, I remember, and I remember the other setup when they would have the stage. You would walk down the ramp and everything else. Like that used to be a big deal, and that really stuck with me because mainly the Attitude Era is when that whole thing stuck out. and just sometimes the visuals that you would get from somebody being in the ring and on top of the ramp or walking down the ramp, and the camera shots and whatnot, like just a lot of that stuff like brought back some memories.
Oh yeah. Speaking of memories, the first song we hear is Basic Thugonomics because we got John Cena, Word Life. Because he about to go one-on-one with Rhino. Was this even a match is my question. Because I felt like I looked up, I looked down, I'm like, what?
I mean, it was I.
I feel like that's how I felt about a lot of matches on this show. If we did, I was like, it was alright. It wasn't horrible or boring. It was just like, that was a match.
One thing that did catch my eye though was Cena's knee brace.
Mm-hmm.
He had on the Stone Cold like knee brace on the left knee, and I believe it was the right hand was wrapped up, right hand wrist or something was wrapped up.
Yeah.
So it looked like he was working, hurt, injured, however you want to call it.
I think he was because I believe they turned him legit tweaking his knee from going over the top rope into a story with him and Big Show because he did in the Royal Rumble because Big Show eliminated him and he with the way he landed like his knee twisted in and his body twisted out, so it kind of like boomeranged. So he basically turned it into a story where he's basically going after the U.S. title for revenge for Big Show basically injuring him. And
another thing, when you said that, it brought it to mind. After this match, when show comes out, I kept wondering why would it made sense for Cena to go at his knee, right? Because I'm watching it and I wasn't like focused paying attention or something. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed the part where he took show down,
right?
And I couldn't remember how he took show down. I had to rewind it, and I saw that he basically shoulder blocked show in the knee.
Yep,
a brilliant move, brilliant strategy. I wasn't thinking about the storyline, the knee, him getting eliminated by Show in the Rumble, so on and so forth. Now that you say that, it makes a ton more sense because not only is it, storyline related, but it makes sense as far as a 248-pound wrestler going against a 7 foot, 500 something pound wrestler.
Right. And they was doing the whole Ken John Cena hit the FU on Big Show storyline, which spoiler alert for those who have not seen WrestleMania 20, he did.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. 21 years later, like I don't know why you wouldn't see it at this point, but nevertheless, yeah, we started off with John Cena. He was what was this throwback jersey that he had on? Was it
Mark Gastineau from the New York Jets?
What was the beef with him? Because he's like believe his own hype, like old dude.
Gastineau was very full of himself. And he would do a goofy ass white boy dance after every sack. And we talking about this was like in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he went back.
Oh yeah, he went back. Matter of fact, Gastineau actually they called their defensive line pass rushers the New York Sack Exchange. Like I'm talking about, like this was like 82 through 86 or 80 through 86, something like that. It was like early 80s. Gotcha. But yeah, he was the one who held the NFL single season sack record until Michael Strahan broke it.
Oh, okay. We were talking about stuff feeling random moments ago. After this, we cut backstage to see Orlando, Jordan, Funaki, Billy Gunn, Don Murray, who by the way, looking good.
Good.
That word to Booker T. Good. And Hardcore Holly, and I was like, when I was watching this segment, I was so confused. I'm like, what is happening? I was just sitting there. I was just like how Jey Uso be looking in those press conferences, all confused and just like, That's how I literally was watching. I was like, yeah. That's literally how I was looking. I was just like, yeah, I was like, all right. But basically, Paul Heyman wanted to sit back and talk to everybody for a meeting. The entire SmackDown locker room, with a few exceptions, obviously, meeting with Paul Heyman to address that he wanted to fight Eddie Guerrero. I was like, wait, what? And then I understood after watching the recap. I was like, oh, he wanted to fight Eddie Guerrero. Okay, they had a match. He said he basically giving a rah-rah speech like, I'll do anything for the good of SmackDown, because this SmackDown is this is how you get to recklessly spend money on your wife and kids, and this is how your kids get to go to college. And I'm like, I believe he said that kids part to someone who I think didn't even have kids.
Bruh. I didn't even look it up or anything. I just was like, this was the part I was talking about earlier, where typically I go past something like that, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even pay attention to it. I'm like, okay, backstage segment, whatever. But I'm like, given the circumstances, this is going to be one of those rah-rah galvanize the audience, or I'm sorry, galvanize the locker room type of speeches. And it's Paul Heyman. And he's not talking to the Raw superstars, where they got most of the heavy hitters back in those days, because SmackDown was the B show at this point in time. Let's just call it what it is.
Yep.
They made it a good show. But this was in that era when he was in charge of SmackDown. And I can see why the show was so good, because Heyman was in charge back then. And it didn't matter what you gave him, he was going to work with it and make it like great. Not good, great. And so I had to watch this just to see like what Heyman was going to do or say. And of course, he didn't disappoint.
Oh yeah, like
it may have sounded a little corny, goofy, but he didn't disappoint.
It probably would have hyped me up if I watched it live, but like looking back, I'm like, you don't sit your corny ass down, boy.
Hey man, I'm a huge, like, I've been watching Heyman since he was Paul E. Dangerously with the brick cell phone and the bad suits and the mullet. Like, that's how long I've been watching this guy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so like that, it's been that long, and this was back when he had sometimes like, you know, bright colored suits or Easter colored suits or very 80s yuppie style looking suits. Like, this was back then. So yeah, I've always been a Paul Heyman guy, you know, so to speak. But the other thing that was funny to me about this episode, going throughout this episode, is that he had that walkie-talkie.
Bro, I was just about to bring that up. I was like, because he was answering
the
shit so comedic, like a Looney Tune. I'm like, bro, why? It's like,
Bro.
Mr. Heyman. He's like, hello. You have Austin. You have Austin. You, bro.
How did you lose Austin? You know, it was a little over the top. Not gonna lie, it was a little over the top. However,
bring me Austin. Bring me Stone Cold Steve Austin. Where is Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Look, it was great, but it also added a touch of this extra nostalgia for me, because it goes back to the brick cell phone that he used to carry to the ring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was great, man. It was great.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did that as a throwback to the cell, because it was literally built the same. Do they even make walkie-talkies in 2024? I don't know. I have no reason to get one. I have no reason to get one. So
they
I don't know.
they have like earpieces and stuff. It's something like that, but it does not look like old school, like actual, like
Yep.
Yeah, it don't look like that.
Yep.
It's basically like an earpiece with like a little thing or whatever, like a little, I can't even remember what you call those mics. It's like for the lavalier mic, and it has the little battery pack thing or transmitter or whatever the hell.
Yeah, it's the transmitter battery pack.
There we go. They have those now.
Oh yeah. So you don't even have to press it because all you gotta do is just press your shirt and be like, yeah, go for it. Or they got it where you press a button or like they have it running up your like you have to like do this. You press the button on your jacket and you be like, yeah, go for it. And then you listen to it.
Yeah, man. Listen, bro. I used to love walkie talkies. Like as a kid, I'm not gonna lie, I had the GI Joe walkie talkies.
I think I had those too. I think it was either the GI Joe ones or like they was making multiple ones. It was like a no
Mm-hmm.
knowing my family, it was probably the rip off GI Joe ones. It probably the BI bro.
BI, bro.
Yeah, it was probably the BI bro walkies. Like that's what I'm saying. That's how rip off it was. So hey man.
Hey
Hey man,
man,
it was fun though. Like it was me and my sister and my brother like
bro.
just going through it. It probably lasted about a week, maybe 2 weeks because
Because y'all was
those
tearing
things
it
was not
up.
authentic. It was not
No,
authentic. So it's like if you drop it, it was a wrap. The button would stop working. Like I was
like
like,
I remember like Tonka trucks when Tonka trucks were actually made out of like steel, like actual steel, and like if you ran that thing and you stubbed your foot or your ankle or your shin or something like that on the Tonka truck, God bless. That's all I can say. God bless.
I do not miss the days where I used to stump my stuff on the rent on trucks and stuff. That junk used to
Oh,
hurt. Like
bro.
the most pain I felt was one time when I was doing in recent time I was doing a deadlift and I was trying to like stop a barbell from hitting the floor and it scraped my foot. That,
Oh,
that junk was kind of brutal. So ever since then I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it fall. So you live and you learn. You live and learn. Like I let it fall wherever. Like, hey,
yeah,
clear. Get out the
yeah,
way, bitch.
yeah. Pretty much.
But outside of the backstage stuff, back from commercial break, they hype up the WrestleMania weekend in New York, which includes the 2004 class of WWE Hall of Fame. And I'm like, bro, I do not remember none of these people in the Hall of Fame
I'm
except
gonna
for
go
like Bobby
back.
the Brain.
Bobby, Superstar Billy Graham, and Pete Rose. Those were like the only three that I could remember were in there.
And
I
then
didn't even realize.
I saw Sergeant Slaughter. I was like, oh yeah, you are in there.
I no, I knew he was in there, but I didn't know when he went
It
in.
was this year. Yeah.
Same thing like who was it? Gosh, I can't remember it, but it
Big
was a
John
few
Stud.
people. Yeah, I did. It was a few people there. I was like, I did not know they all went in on this class. Like
Because
I
I
had
thought
no
Stud
clue.
was already in there. Like I thought he was like the year after Andre.
Well, I
Or
don't.
close to like
I,
I thought it was like 2000 but I know at one point they stopped doing the Hall of Fame. That's probably why it was so many people that went in because I know at one point I think
mhm.
they stopped it at like I think they stopped between 99 or 98 and 2003. Like nobody went in. I
Yeah,
think
I'm gonna look it up because I do remember that they stopped it for a while, and I do remember like it was something. Let's see, 95, 96. Looks like between 96 and '04.
so it was a big
I
gap.
didn't realize it was that damn long. Good lord.
That's probably why they had so many people go in '04 because it was like what 12 to 13 people.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Close enough.
Yeah, bruh. Like, and bro, I didn't realize how many had actually went in until just now when I counted it. I just remember watching the graphic, like, damn, that's a lot of people. Like, not. And I totally forgot about the gap. I thought the gap was way smaller than that,
Yeah,
just
no,
like
that
you
was a
did,
big gap.
bruh. It's so insane.
Which I
Um,
kind of get. It was just like, hey, we might as well just bring this back to WrestleMania weekend because I know this year they got Triple H as the headline, and that shit is at like 1 a.m. I said, I'm going to bed.
And what's crazy is it's 10 o'clock Vegas time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, we are, and that's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna watch some of that because Fourth Rope starts at like midnight.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna miss it.
Midnight your
Probably
time or Vegas time? I mean,
midnight Vegas time.
oh yeah, y'all gonna be up watching that, or if, like, because it started at 10 p.m. and then you said Fourth
That's
Rope
what I'm
starting at like
saying. We
midnight.
gotta. I think I can't remember what time we have to leave in order to make sure we get there and everything. But thank God we got our seats and everything secured, so we're good with that. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's just why would you do this? Like, why?
It's so much stuff on there. That's what's like. It's like I wish I would. I wish I went, but also the stuff that they have, I'm kind of glad I didn't because it's like a lot. I feel like I might have been overwhelmed a little bit to the point where you like, I'm just gonna stay in and just go to sleep.
Well, my thing is like I don't like crowds and stuff like that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Once I got denied my press pass, I was like, okay, cool. Where we gonna watch it at as a game? Because I'm down though. I would like if y'all want to watch it somewhere with everybody, cool. Because I'm cool with just at the house by myself.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Like me and my social battery and everything, like I can enjoy it just the same at home by myself as I can like out with everybody. So it doesn't make me no never mind. But then there are some people who they like to be in the mix and they like to be at the arena or amongst the biggest it's fine by me. Like if y'all want to do that, cool. But I don't have to be in the mix to enjoy it. I've already done the WrestleMania trips and everything with the kids and brought them to actual manias and fan access, or as they call it now, WWE World. Like I've already had those experiences. So once I've had those experiences, it's not imperative for me to continuously have them or to have them again or whatever like that. So.
Or speaking of mixes and crowds and oversaturation and stuff, we have Chavo Guerrero defending the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania in the first ever Cruiserweight Open against 8 other people. And to hype up to that, they basically had Rey Mysterio. Who's that jumping out the sky? R-E-Y Mysterio. Here we go. Step out, man, tap out. Off the top ropes, here we go. That roll. Then the next, here we go. Here we on that roll. What you gonna do when you're on your back for that mean body slam? Oh damn, you whack, you whack. Hey man,
Bruh, I did not think that you was gonna remember the whole thing. I was like, he got the whole thing. He got it up memorized. Like,
what is it? Oh, it's staying on my neck. What is it say? Straight from the WWE. All these what did you see? Been the band of mystery. I'm like, all right. It was too catchy, bro. Like I listened to that, like, bro. When that came, when they played it in the games, because I like, bro. What got me back into wrestling was playing the games. So when I heard Rey Mysterio's theme song before they switched it to Booyaka, Booyaka, I'm like, bro, sick. Like who's that jumping out the sky? Like when you hear that and they the pyro, I'm like, bro, this dude is the coolest little motherfuckers I've ever seen.
bro, that whole entrance and everything, like, bro, that's one of the underrated all-time entrances.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say it. Another hot take. That's one of the underrated all-time entrances.
That's why it's like one of these days I want him to come bring back the catapult and just jump out one last time.
Bruh, he would have to be in Mexico for 2 months on stem cells for his knees just to pull that one move off.
I mean, his knees is fire now. Like this dude is moving like he did back then, right now, if not even better. So he can hop out and just do the booyaka, booyaka.
Bruh, they might have a landing pad or something, cushion that blow.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully his knees don't shatter like glass in Stone Cold's intro.
Man, listen, he fool around and be like Shane McMahon was at WrestleMania 39. Do a simple leapfrog and
my knee, my leg, like they did on SpongeBob, my leg.
Fool around and do like Vince did at that Royal Rumble, blowing out both of them quads.
Yeah, that was a freak accident, literally. Freak accident for a freak bull makes sense.
I've got nothing.
but Rey Mysterio went 1-on-1 with Danny Palmer's cousin twice removed, Jamie Noble, same fit and everything. I was like, bro, this is Danny Palmer. And then people was like, yo, this is Nydia. I was
Wait.
like, nah, her pants are too short, or Billy Kidman. I'm like, nah, that's Jamie Noble.
Another thing I noticed, WWE must have had a sponsorship or something with Hilfiger, or Jamie Noble borrowed John Cena's jorts because they both had on Hilfiger jorts.
Yep. Man.
I'm telling, bro, I be noticing some of the most oddball stuff sometimes, and that's one thing that I immediately picked up on when Jamie Noble was out there. I was like, wait a minute, is this the same jorts that Cena wore, or they just have a deal with Hilfiger?
Knowing them, because at one point I recall at one point they was wearing practically borderline Apple, not Apple, what's those joggers? Like it was like a certain stripe, but the stripe it's not Adidas. It was like at some point some people was wearing Adidas a lot, like Adidas shirts at some point. So I was saying I feel like they be having like secret or subtle sponsorships with them, because if they didn't, they would blur it out in the
for sure
because they definitely blurred out a lot of stuff in the past that they don't have sponsorships with.
Man, another thing, can we talk about like how the cruiserweight title almost looks fake?
Yeah, it does look like a it's a real belt, but it looks like a replica of a championship. It's crazy.
Bruh, it looked like the toy version, like the plastic version, not even like the real replica, like big gold like you got behind you, or like my big gold that I got. Like those are like the real replicas, like that have metal and everything, leather and stuff like that. That cruiserweight title that Chavo had on that desk, I'm like,
that shit that you get from Walmart. You remember the toy?
Yes.
And you get it in that box, and then you try to put it around your waist, and you're like, I'm too big.
It's just the like the grown up size version. So like they got the kid size, and then like they got the grown up size, and they gave Chavo the grown up size one. Like that's exactly what that looks like.
They say, yeah, here is your belt. This is not my belt. Well, it will be your belt today. We just got it on sale. Promote the toys. Go out there, promote the toys. You have the belt. Have fun.
Bruh,
do your thing. And speaking of do your thing, Chavo Classic out there doing his thing, talking in a language I don't understand.
Bruh. He was laying it in, and I was like, bro. At one point, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of tired, and I'm laying here on the sofa, and I told the dog, like, leave me alone, because if you try to snuggle up against me, I'm gonna get too comfortable and fall asleep. I'm miss this. I have to rewind it. Set back together.
I literally was doing anything else. Like I'm not gonna hold you. This match was just like, okay, it's just there.
Here's the thing, though. I was like tripping at one point because I was like, did I press the SAP button or something? Like I had to literally, I was like, wait a minute, and I had to rewind and come back, and I was pressing stuff on the remote. I'm like, what did I do? Oh no, that fool just talking like that. Man, I was like, it just like in casual conversation, just bust out in full Spanish. And I'm like, oh, this is great. This plays into the stereotypical, foreign heel work or whatever, but on a more like almost obnoxious level, but subtly obnoxious because it was so into the conversation, and it just blended right in. It was really good though. I love that little I don't know spice or whatever you want to call it to the whole thing.
Yeah,
it helped make the match more tolerable.
Oh yeah, the commentary was hilarious. Michael Cole was like, "Yeah, y'all sound fucking stupid, so I'm gonna step back and let y'all do your thing." And then Taz was like, "Well, do that while we over here to continue to start to sound stupid. That's what we're going to do. We're going to." And then he's like, Chavo, sing it. Go for it, and do your and say it in Spanish." And he starts saying it in Spanish. I'm like, And I'm pretty sure my brain was like, you know what? You could say something real racist right now, but we're gonna chill tonight. Because I was like, Kelo Taco Bell. Yeah, I understood that.
Hey, yo. A freaking yo.
Like we went back to 2004 with this episode. My brain went back to 2005 with subtle racism.
Man, bro.
So I was just like, you know what? Let me chill. Oh man, Chavo, like yeah. So it went from interference and 8-man tag, which was also solid, and then Ray and company got the win with the West Coast pop.
Yeah,
like this segment was if you was watching this solely to get hyped on the Cruiserweight Open, it did its job.
Yeah, because it was basically a showcase match. Like everybody get out there, get a couple of your shits in, and then
I feel like that was all the matches here.
Home. Well, of course, because Heyman was trying to get as much in as he could in that 2 hours and sell whatever matches they were supposed to sell for SmackDown and keep the storylines going and everything. And he's a mad genius. And when you look back at these episodes, you see why some of these segments were so jam-packed, because they were trying to get as much in as they could.
Oh yeah. More backstage shenanigans with Paul Heyman, FBI, and APA and stuff like that. After the recap, we see the WWE champion Eddie Guerrero in untitled action against Shelton Benjamin just 3 days before he defends his WWE title against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Before the match, Eddie Guerrero addresses the fact that Kurt Angle is allegedly not in the building, which he doesn't believe because he said he was there last week, and then he continues to go into Kurt. Like continue to goad Kurt into being a man of his word and get rid of him. Like he's like, yo, you say I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, blah blah blah. He basically calling Kurt a hypocrite without calling him a hypocrite.
Bruh, that as much as we could talk about some of Eddie's comedy stuff and everything else, the goofy haha, and he's so great in ring. Eddie was really good at cutting those deep, heartfelt, guttural, personal storyline promos. And I'm not just talking about the stuff with him and Ray, with Dominic and all of that, but like this stuff right here, this was also some good stuff. And the stuff he also did with JBL, with that storyline as well. So like,
and it's all within the same year. That's
yeah. Eddie was definitely in his bag, man. And I was most impressed with him through this stretch than I think maybe any other stretch, because not only was he still showed that he still had what he always had, but he was able to bounce back from his situation and add even more layers to what he already had in his bag, and that just solidified him as one of my all-time favorites. It's just because he added so many layers to his character, and he could do so much in ring already. And it was just, I mean, man, talk about wish he was here, gone too soon. Like, bro.
Oh yeah.
Imagine being at the PC or watching like LFG, and instead of Bubba Ray, you got Eddie Guerrero. Come on, man. Come on,
man. That would have been a nice nugget. Like if he would have survived this, like because 2004 to 2005 was his last full year. So it's like, imagine if he would have made it to 2015, 2020, 2025. Like it would have been his knowledge. I feel like probably would have been great to see or great to hear from. So, hey man, I appreciate that. And then someone else, like I said, I text you after watching this, Shelton Benjamin. That's who his opponent is, and I'm like, bruh. Shelton Benjamin was in the wrong era, and not in a like, oh my god, he should it was a situation to where it's like he would have like flourished in like peak 2016 SmackDown Live if he was like new to the business, as well as he would have peaked in like he would have flourished in NXT Black and Gold, that era that took everybody by storm. And honestly, the current era of NXT of WWE, he would have flourished. Like I feel like he would have been definitely a top guy, because outside of what they're doing, whatever the fuck they're doing with Carmelo Hayes, Shelton Benjamin had the height, the speed, and the size that definitely would have seen him at the top of the card. Like I feel like he would have definitely been a beast.
Bro, Shelton Benjamin was just watching this with him and Eddie. I was looking forward to it because I was like, this was Eddie when Eddie was older but still was in his bag, and this was Shelton when he was still kind of new to the business, but he was like, you could see the potential was there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like those two ships passing in the night on this go home episode of SmackDown, and you thinking, okay, it's just a match to feed Eddie an opponent to look good, shine him up before his world title defense at Mania, and especially going against one of Kurt Angle's boys, what have you. But bro, you saw all the potential in the world in Shelton Benjamin here, going toe to toe with Eddie Guerrero. And like you said, like, bro, I when you said he was in the wrong era, I thought like if he would come along like maybe now or something.
Mm-hmm.
But when you said like that 2014, 15, 16, era, like then I was like, oh wait, yeah. Because imagine being able to plug and play a Shelton Benjamin in his mid to early 20s or what have you, that WrestleMania 32 season in 2016 when you had all those injuries. Imagine him getting that pop of winning that Intercontinental ladder match instead of what's his name?
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder, yeah. Or imagine if he was that far up the card. Well, check this out. Let's say you decided to do a student versus pupil thing with him and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32 instead of that debacle with Dean Ambrose.
Even though they came together, like if they could have flipped the roles, but
right. I mean, there was when you I was thinking of like more current times or whatever, but like when you put it like that, I'm like, oh wait a minute, yeah, that would have been dope.
There's so many situations where they could have definitely had him slide him in to do his stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like we're not finna just sit here and act like they didn't cook with him early on when they first broke up the world's greatest tag team with him when he drafted him to Raw after WrestleMania. Like after this WrestleMania that's coming up, WrestleMania 20, they drafted Shelton to Raw, let him get a win over Triple H, let him win the Intercontinental title, all this stuff. But it was like the inconsistency is what I feel like that what did him in as far as people taking him 100% serious long term if you're not black.
Yeah. I just hope that, man, people, I'm glad they gave him his flowers last year at Wale Mania because
I was there.
Guy is just, yes, you were. Rub it in. But like, nah, man, it's just that guy, man, he is such a talent in ring and can still go.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're letting them cook in AEW. So I'm cool with that. Eddie Guerrero obviously picked up the win after giving a good showing with Shelton Benjamin. Kurt Angle came out to continue to hype their match at WrestleMania. Side note, after watching has Paul Heyman always walked like that? That
kind of swagger
waddle, penguin waddle,
pretty much. If you look at some of his stuff from the early 90s, like 88, 89, 87 era or whatever, in AWA and early like NWA, WCW, he kind of had the swagger, but not as much as the waddle. I think the waddle came when he started gaining weight. Okay. But he always had that kind of walk, though, yeah.
Okay, because I was like, bro, you were doing the 2025 Paul Heyman walk, but not as dramatic. It's like subtle.
Yeah, I love Heyman.
But yeah, after all that, we got Big Show destroying people in the handicap match. John Cena, like we mentioned earlier, clipping the knee. Then we get. Did you see that recap of World's Greatest Tag Team mocking APA?
Wait. The funniest thing to me in that whole segment was that they had Charlie Haas playing Ron Simmons.
Without the black
Benjamin, yes. And Shelton Benjamin playing JBL with a blonde wig.
I feel like they was like, who's gonna play who, and Shelton was like, yo, give me the most outlandish white chick's wig you can ever think of, and I'm going to make this shit work. I'm going to act so country. I may be from Minneapolis, but I'm finna act like I'm from Texas, even though their accent is thicker than Texans. But that's besides the point.
Bro,
Ask Tiffany Stratton.
Look, like we said on last week's episode, that Minnesota accent is like a country ass Canadian. That's all that Minnesota is. Yeah, the Contradian. There we go. I couldn't remember what you had said. I was like, God damn it, Gresh called it something.
The Contradians. Yeah, the Contradians. Yeah, let's go with that. So that segment, I was like, bro, I had to pause it because I just kept laughing. I don't know why I just kept laughing because it's like APA is crap. APA is crap. And I'm like, bro, I don't know who this was for, but I feel like it was for me because I needed that laugh.
Yeah, bro, that was such good stuff. Because I was dying laughing. I'm like, bro, are they really doing this? I was like, wait, does he have on a blonde wig? I was like, that's it. This fool got on a blonde wig talking like JBL. And JBL has never been blonde, not even dyed blonde. Like
until this year, until 2004. I think he's
right.
Like, he's blonde. He had like blonde tips.
Wait, with Charlie Haas playing Ron Simmons with a full like super afro, and Ron Simmons clearly has male pattern baldness. Like, hey, but they learned their lesson with that blackface. Last time they tried that, it was like, stay away from this.
Oh yeah, no, they did blackface again. That thing would have been.
Let's just go with the Afro wig this time.
That thing would have been pulled from the archives like they did with the DX blackface, because you still don't see it on the Peacock version, like they trimmed that, but you can find it in the original upload if you find the original upload of it. So after that, we got more showcase matches. Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty defeated the Basham Brothers. They will compete in a Fatal 4-Way tag team match, which I don't remember at all. That Fatal 4-Way tag match, I was like, wait, this happened at WrestleMania? I thought this was like a pre-show match. But nope. It happened at WrestleMania. Oh, that was when because now I remember the highlight of it, because I remember when Shelton tried to wrestle Rikishi to the match and he did like the hip bump. Like he threw his back, he legit threw his ass back.
He threw it back on him.
And and Shelton flew out of the ring. Yep. Mm-hmm. We went from talking about fisting, pause, to throwing it back on. Like, yo, we finna throw it back on my ops right quick. Boom, shakalaka. Yeah.
Bruh.
Big back.
I do not remember. I think the only thing I remember about WrestleMania 20 was John Cena, Eddie Guerrero, and Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah.
The Chris Benoit Eddie Guerrero moment at the end, and it was one other thing I remembered about WrestleMania 20. Man. Oh, Rock and Sock.
Oh yeah, and I remember Undertaker coming back as the Dead Man too.
Okay, that one. I think the only thing I remembered about that one was like I kind of forgot that he was out for a while, and I can't remember why he was out. But I think in one of the documentaries about him or something like that, it said why he was out or something like that. But yeah, that was that. And I love the fact how they sold that Undertaker Kane thing, because when they showed the graphic, if you notice, it was only like the graveyard shadow of the graveyard cross. There was never a picture, photo, moving graphic, nothing of Taker. It was always like an image. It was never him. And I love how well they always have protected his character and different things like that throughout the years. Also, watching the WrestleMania 9 documentary, how even protective and guarded he was back then, with the cameras finally rolling and everything. So that was pretty dope.
Oh yeah. After all that, we have pretty much them recapping, more recap, and then we get the final segment, which was finally Stone Cold Steve Austin showed up to get his property back. And this segment basically proved two things. Paul Heyman knows how to take a bump when asked to, and Big Show is dramatic as hell for no reason. Like, bro, you are too big to be this damn dramatic. Are you and Cody Rhodes the same person? Because y'all are both dramatic. Like, bro, when Stone Cold came out and gave face to face with everybody back down. He got in Big Show's face. We staring at him for long, and then Big Show just like, yeah, get in there, get in there, get in there. Like, bro, what the fuck? You could have just stepped to the side. Like, what are we doing,
Bruh. It's like when a baseball umpire, when he calls that third strike and he get all extra, or like also when an NBA or basketball ref throws a player out of the game with that second technical, or they just throw him out of the game or whatever. Like that's what that looks like. That's what that looks like.
like bro,
there's
he's
no
like
reason
a referee when they be getting dramatic, like, out of here. Like, all right, bro. But I enjoyed that. That legitimately made me laugh. I was like, bro, why are you so damn dramatic?
Bro, as big as your ass is, you do not need to be dramatic. You can just
really
be like,
just step to the side. Just step to the side. Say, go for it. Just go for it. But nah, he just had to be so dramatic. I'm like, all right, bro. This was around. I feel like this was around the time where Big Show was just doing vibes, because I feel like from 2004 to like 2000, from clips I've seen from 2004 to like 2005, before he went to ECW, he was just doing shit.
Like at one point, it was even before that, because remember they had Show in like a sumo match against Akibono at WrestleMania one year.
Yeah, that was 2005.
That was 21.
That was 21. We saw that man's ass all in the camera,
bruh. Like,
hopefully he wiped.
That was when that was Gimmick Show era, right? When it was like the Hulk
he had
Hogan
two Gimmick Show eras. Remember, like Show Kishi in 2000, and then this one. So it's like whenever they don't know what to do with him, they just have him be goofy.
And the crazy thing is like, as big and athletic as Show could be at some points in his career, he is really good with that character stuff. Like, no joke. Like, it could be, it's supposed to be funny and everything, but he is really, really good at that stuff.
Yes, sir.
So I got to give him his props on that for sure.
And I got to give them their props too, because after all that mumbo jumbo, Stone Cold and Brock basically went like they threw blows, threw soup bones, as Jamie Ross will say when it comes to the Undertaker, throwing soup bones right there, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we basically ended with a brief exchange. Brock busted open after going on hitting face first on the ring post, and Stone Cold got his ATV back and pretty much used a beer bath to close the show. One thing about it, I was like, one thing I noticed, I'm like, you'd think the way that they had this brawl and set this episode up, you would think it would be Brock versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania instead of Brock versus Goldberg.
Bruh, that was something weird to me, because I'm like, what the fuck did Goldberg have in his contract at that time where he doesn't have to appear on the Go Home episode of SmackDown? Like, bro, I know you on your way out, and we already know the story, the backstory, and all that. Okay, cool. What the hell, you ain't show up to work?
That told me everything I need to know. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a wrap. When they put the attention on, they had the attention on Stone Cold, who was pretty much an attraction at this point. He was retired. Instead of the two people in the ring are already. That's all I need to know. I'm like, oh, so y'all on y'all bullshit on the way out? We finna be on our bullshit with Stone Cold, because the way that they made the way that the crowd in New York hijacked that match and was cheering Stone Cold over the two people in the ring told me all I need to know. But outside of that, that is that is SmackDown that we want to talk about from 2004, the Go Home Edition, and honestly, I enjoyed it. Outside of the shenanigans was entertaining. The the SmackDown is brought to you by stuff took me back in time. Like, have you ever played what was that one? They was sponsored by something. What was it? The Engage by Nokia. Have you ever played that one?
No, no,
I'm
I never
like,
played that
I'm
one.
like
I
Engaged by Nokia. I was like, I've
don't
never
even
heard.
sound familiar.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never heard that. I'm like, it must was terrible because don't nobody talk about it.
No, bruh. You know, in video game culture, if anything was even remotely good, or at least had at least one or two hit games on it, it's instantly a cult classic, and people are looking for it. But unfortunately, with something like that, I guess it was just a flash in the pan. Like, 'cause I don't even remember it.
Hey man, hey, and yep. So outside of that, outside of SmackDown, like overall, yeah, this was a fun episode. Something fun to take us back in time as we get ready for WrestleMania week. And before we get up out of here, we're gonna go ahead and preview and predict the upcoming WrestleMania event, WrestleMania weekend. Should we include Stand and Deliver or?
I mean, we can if you want to. It's
I
up
don't
to
even.
you.
No, I'm saying we probably won't
Let
because I
me
don't
pull up
even.
the. I have to pull up the matches. I got the Mania matches pulled up. Let me pull up Stand and Deliver right quick.
Because I don't Stand and Deliver 25. Like, is this, how many matches we got? We got okay.
We got
This looks
5.
like all of them. This looks like all of them though,
Yeah.
and we got two more people that's probably going to be picked. Well, two. Well, we got three more like participants. We're not gonna do it because it's like they still got three more people to name for it. Like we might.
Oh yeah. Because there's the Fatal 4-Way
Fatal forward, and they got two more qualifying matches
and the
for.
Gauntlet matches, and then you have the other the ladder match for the
Yeah,
women.
so
Okay.
we'll bypass that this year. If I want to get your predictions or it's something fun, that's
Yeah,
something.
just shoot me a text, man. I mean, even though I'm traveling or whatever Wednesday, like I'm gonna be available. Like
Oh yeah,
unless I'm on the plane or whatever, like
yeah. I'll shoot you a
I'm gonna be
text.
available.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text, and well, I'll put it in the group chat like, hey, who you got for this?
We should know after Tuesday, so
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Tuesday night, we should be good. Well, tonight,
Yeah,
and this airs,
yes,
we should be good.
we should be good.
Like,
So,
please edit that out.
no,
Please.
I'm gonna keep it in. I'm gonna keep that shit in because that shit's funny. Or tonight.
Damn.
One thing about me, I'm like, nah, we want it raw, so we don't edit nothing out. It's like the only
Hey
time.
man, that was it was one of them things where like it's like, oh dang it. I already said it though. This our cat's already out the bag. Can't put toothpaste back in the tube. So
Yeah, buddy. So, hey, man, I get it. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's now that time where we talk about and preview the upcoming WrestleMania matches. We have night 1, April 19th, and night 2 on 4/20. So, if you are partaking in the cannabis situations, make sure you smoke responsibly and watch some wrestling if that's your thing. But
please do it responsibly.
please. Like, if you don't lay shit up, like don't be fucking stupid, dumbass. But however, what isn't dumb is night 1 of WrestleMania. We have 7 matches confirmed for night 1, which will be headlined by the main event because we have a weekend of multi-man matches. Like this, like it's a given at this point. But the headline will be none other than a triple threat match. I would say for a title, but hey, it's for bragging rights, if you will. Bragging rights. It is a triple threat match. Roman Reigns,
Paul Heyman on the pole match.
Paul Heyman on the forklift. That's because he kind of chubby now, so it's like they can't really. They're like, Paul, you kind of fat, so we can't really do much with you nowadays. So hey, we're here. Here it is, triple threat. I know a lot of people aren't really like a lot of people mixed opinions. Like we talked about it. Some people feel like this shouldn't main event over the Royal Rumble winners, which, by the way, I believe both Royal Rumble winners are on night one, so they're getting that out the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, where Paul Heyman owes Seth the favor now for not caving his face in. So, how we see this one going? Do we see what we've been like seeing everybody talk about? Do we see a swerve, if you will, where Paul Heyman turns on his best friend and tribal chief and align with the architect, the revolutionary, the visionary, Seth freaking Rollins? Or do we just see him not playing a factor in a way where Roman feels, because the reason why Punk took Paul away from Roman is because he wants him out of his comfort zone. Because Roman has gotten comfortable since 2020.
Mm-hmm. I see Seth getting the win here. And here's why. You're gonna have Punk and Roman with the whole Heyman thing leaning over their heads in between them already. And we saw that how that came to blows, right? Seth is trying to play the psychology game because he's already in Roman's head. We've seen this. It was obvious, painfully obvious last year when Roman basically cost himself the title by trying to go after Seth. Now he's in Punk's head because he's supposedly owing this favor to Heyman, and he stumped Punk out literally on Monday night. So I'm just saying, like, there's just it's to me. Roman has already main evented plenty of WrestleManias and won main events. Punk is just happy to be there in the main event. And he knows he's older now. You know, it is what it is. But the one guy who a win here would really mean something to, especially going forward and not just in kayfabe, but also like real life behind the scenes stuff, would be Seth Rollins. Oh, yeah. Seth Rollins is a Triple H guy. I could definitely see him getting the win. And I could see him pinning Punk in order to get the win.
Yeah, I definitely see Seth winning as well. Mainly because I feel like Roman's not going to be there after this. I feel like he's going back on vacation. And I feel like they're going to build to him and Punk at SummerSlam. Mainly because Roman is going to want revenge for Punk opening that door of him losing Paul. But I also like the fact that Seth Rollins brought up the fact to Paul Heyman, like, hey, Roman is your tribal chief, but he also left you laying. He also left you stranded with the other Samoa niggas, the ones who basically put you through an announce table and hurt you in your hometown because Roman left you. And he didn't apologize. Like everybody out here talking about apologies, for like Roman apologized. He owed Jey Uso an apology, like a legit apology, not no fucking But he owes him an apology. But he also owed Paul Heyman an apology. Like, bruh, you left your wise man stranded with savages.
Talk about it.
And you want this undying loyalty, but it's like, bro, at the slightest inconvenience, you leave people hanging. Right? Like if Paul Heyman were to turn on Roman, I need him to bring that up. It's like, you were my tribal chief, but every time I turn around, You left me stranded. Whether it was with
Mhm.
Brock, whether it was with Seth, whether it was with Solo
Solo,
and
Jacob.
Jacob and all these
Mhm.
other people. It's like you keep leaving me hanging, and it's like you want me to crawl on my knees and my hands and knees to come back to your side. And it's like you should be begging to come back to my side, because if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in. Like, I need him to go in if he like turns on
Man.
him. I need what the kids say, cinema, like legit cinema. I need
Yeah.
legit dramatics
Yeah.
and theatrics. And when it comes to
Hey.
Punk, I don't need him. But one thing I don't need him to do, I don't need him to turn on Punk.
I think what'll happen is it'll be like some incidental, like Roman will be outside of the ring or something like that, and Punk will have Heyman try to do something, and he'll end up hitting Punk or whatever, and then Seth will get the win, and then Seth will act like that's the favor or something like that, and that's what will cause that psychological rift between Heyman and Punk. Roman losing is going to be enough for him to be like, I hate this. And it's already enough for him because his wise man sided with Punk. And now, not only did his wise man side with Punk, now his wise man supposedly looked like he helped his, mortal enemy, former BFF, win. So there's that in it for Roman. That's why I think it'll end up something like that. Like it'll be a somewhat of a schmozzy type of finish, but it'll be Heyman costing Punk instead of him helping Punk or helping Roman. And it'll be in a manner in which it'll look like he did it on purpose, but he really did.
Or like to build that tension until it finally.
Right.
Oh yeah, I get it. And speaking of tension, we have for the first of two Royal Rumble winners, that will be Charlotte Flair defending or challenging. I'm so used to her being the champion. Challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Old school blonde versus new school blonde. The I guess you could say the present of WWE versus the future of WWE. It got personal and it drew interest. It basically increased the interest in this match for a lot of people. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair for the women's title. I'm gonna go on a limb and say the way that this is setting up, I see Tiffany winning and retaining.
I want Charlotte to win just because I want the chaos.
Now, don't get me wrong. If Charlotte wins, I'm like, it is what it is. Like,
Strictly for the chaos.
You know me, I don't lose sleep over a wrestling outcome to save my life. Like, people probably be like, damn, does this nigga care? I do. And then the light turns off, and then I hear that when I see that closing credit, like trademark, courtesy of WWE TKO. I stopped caring.
Bro, at that point, I'm like, all right, let's get to the post show. Let me peep that or whatever, and like I'll probably run it back, like because I have sleep issues. And so while I'm having sleeping issues overnight, I'll watch the post show and run back the main show or certain parts of it or whatever. But nah, like if I'm just gonna predict this, I'm gonna still say Charlotte. I'm gonna go with that as my official prediction because not only do I want the chaos, but no, Tiffany's winning, and because I keep flip flopping back and forth. But the main reason why I'm going solid saying Tiffany's going to win this is because it's more intriguing for Charlotte if she loses this match as opposed to if she wins. Because if she wins, storyline wise, let's look at it. It's another Charlotte Flair win. It'll be her 15th title reign on her way to breaking her daddy's record or whatever. It'll be, more of the same that we're expecting out of her when honestly, like her last WrestleMania appearances, she's actually put somebody else over.
True.
So I could see her putting Tiffany over.
Oh, yeah, because she did miss last year WrestleMania.
And at 39, Rhea won. So I could see her doing the same thing, and it's almost like an unwilling passing of the torch. But I could also see like her growing into like that bitter heel, I'm not done yet type of role by losing. Why not just embrace that side of it? You know, it's going in that direction anyway with these last couple of promos and interactions and whatnot. Why not just embrace that side, go all the way with it?
I agree. So, like, I was also saying, I'm intrigued to see how this goes. Like, this is going to be one match where I'm like, this has the opportunity, especially with all the personal jabs, this has the opportunity to be either really great or really bad. Let's put
Yeah.
it this way. This has the opportunity to be Charlotte versus Rhea or Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey from WrestleMania 20, what was it, 30, what was it, 2022. Because that WrestleMania match was horrible.
Yeah. But I could definitely see this one being a good match. I do think that we'll see some potatoes and or receipts or soup bones, as you call it. I do definitely think that we're going to see some of those. But it's basically the young lion against the old lion, you know. And I'm not trying to call Charlotte old or anything, but it's like, you know, she damn near 40 and Tiffany's only 25.
Right.
So Charlotte's been doing this over 10 years, and Tiffany's barely scratching the surface of what she can do. So it's almost like a passing of the torch, you know, a changing of the guard as far as the top women at the main event scene are concerned. So I can definitely see Tiffany retaining because I just see the more intriguing storyline is her retaining and trying to establish herself as like I am that the top dog here in the women's division, and then Charlotte kind of losing faith and confidence in herself, you know, as she's aging, coming off injuries, personal struggles, what so on and so forth. But I wouldn't mind also seeing like her attack Tiffany after the match, showing her fake love and respect, and then attacking her, leaving her laying after the match.
Right, and continuing the story like, hey,
Bingo.
I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So, yep, Tiffany, Charlotte. Next up, we have, speaking of passing of the guard and old school versus new school, another women's match that is taking place is the first ever non-title, non-bikini, non-battle royal women's one-on-one wrestling match. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Betrayal, jealousy, envy, pushing the car on people on cars. The whole nine. One-on-one. Jade Cargill, Naomi. And I'm gonna keep it a bean in a buck. This is Jade's chance to prove to everyone what she brings to the table.
Bruh.
She has someone in Naomi who can bring anyone to a great match. This is coming from someone who's not 100% a fan of Charlotte Flair. If Naomi can make me interested in a Charlotte Flair match, she can do anything in my book.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying.
these ladies have been putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about on screen, I'm talking about online as well. And their exchanges back and forth on camera and on social media have been excellent. And I've always wanted this to exactly happen. And the whole I used to pray for times like this meme is very much true for me because I literally prayed for this to happen because I wanted to see them give Jade a showcase at Mania. She needed to be against an opponent who can lead her to a good match, a solid veteran who can make her look good. But Naomi is not only making her look good in the ring, but their promos and everything going at it and the story that they're telling is excellent. And you know, I'm a root for everybody black, but good Lord, God really knew what he was doing when he put them two together.
Yep.
He took his time, brother. He took
Hit that
his
bullshit.
time. Whew.
Hallelujah. But nah,
Look,
man. I
Them
definitely
the kind of
see.
women you wear leather and sing in the desert for. Real talk.
So beautiful.
It's crazy, dog.
That you see.
Bruh, you are out of pocket.
Oh man, but I definitely
Oh
see
man.
Naomi winning this match by dubious means. For
Oh
sure.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Like
If even if Jade wins, I just think that it'll take like everything out of her in order to pull out this win over Naomi. It won't be one of them dominant, like, oh, I just laid you out and beat your ass type of wins. It'll be like, wow. You know, where she's barely getting up and the ref got to help her up and she raises her hand and everything. And it'll be something like that. But like, yeah, I'm thinking Jay's going to win this match though.
Okay.
I'm thinking Jay because I think that they want to give her like this win at Mania and showcase her and everything. I don't think that they'll have her lose on her first chance at the big stage. I think that they're going to have her win and see what they can do to put the rocket to her back and shoot it to the moon. And Naomi's going to be the perfect female to help her do that.
Okay. That's definitely something I can understand, but yeah. So yeah, I got Naomi. You got Jade Cargill. Someone I feel like we got unanimously when it comes to predictions. Jacob Fatu, the challenges LA Knight. Yeah. For the United States Championship. And yeah. Sorry, LA, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Time to come up off that title. Let's go home with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I mean?
Yeah. Ain't no argument here. Fatu bringing it home.
Like at this point, it's like straight to the point. Straight to the point.
Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not pretend like it's anything but what it is. Jacob Fatu is winning this match. This is for him to win this match. This is for him to like compete and look great. And this is his breakout moment. You know what I'm saying? Similarly to what we saw like with the go home episode of the SmackDown that we watched, WrestleMania 20, was John Cena's like breakout WrestleMania moment when he beat Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this ain't John Cena beating Big Show, like, but this is still like Jacob Fatu's breakout moment.
Yeah, they finally putting a strap behind him. Like the fact that it's like I don't even think he's almost on a year. Like I believe it was a little bit closer to Money in the Bank. So he's like he's not even a year into his WWE debut. He's already going for a singles title at WrestleMania when everybody's watching.
He made his debut on the June 21st, 2024 episode of SmackDown.
So he's like 2 months shy of a year. Because I know Tama Tonga just celebrated a year.
Yeah. So he's a couple months shy of his year anniversary on the main roster. And by that time, brother will be 33 years old.
Wow.
Still has plenty left in the tank.
Yes, sir. And speaking of plenty of left in the tank, we have the New Day challenging the War Raiders for the WWE World Tag Team Championships.
New Day.
Yeah.
I got New Day all day. New Day all day.
Like just straight to the point. New Day.
This is their turn to reestablish themselves as not only heels but reestablish themselves as champions, because it's been a minute since New Day's had gold.
Yes, sir.
They've been the happy-go-lucky, go along, and everything else, and just the accents to certain storylines. They have not been the storyline in a while. And with their turn and everything on Big E, they've re-elevated themselves back into the conversation. I think this is for them to show off and show out.
Oh yeah, indeed. You have no arguments from me when it comes to that. Like I feel like there's a reason why they put them on this card as opposed to the SmackDown before or the go home before or the fallout after, because they're like, yo, we're finally finna we're finna fast track and go full throttle with this heel New Day, because you can tell they've been like semi like stalling a little bit, like slowing down, make sure everything falls into place. So, hey man, I'm here for it. Like I genuinely forgot the War Raiders were tag team champions. That's more so on the booking and less on my memory. Like they're barely there. Like you barely see them defend the titles or even wrestle in non-title matches or
Right.
be prominent on storylines. They literally, you be like, oh, y'all are the tag team champions.
And the crazy thing is like Eric came back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's been back for a while. And I want to say they won the tag titles like 2 months ago or so.
Yep, it's been
like
literally 2 months. Like I think they won it, and it's like it's a recurrent thing, because remember when the Judgment Day had it, they only defended it like once after like nearly 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. That also contributes to my idea of picking the New Day, because it's like, why have this team go over when we've been basically hiding them in catering?
Mm-hmm.
If we had an idea to push them, we would have pushed them already.
Yeah.
You didn't have to get somebody ready to push them. You could have pushed them as a dominant like force in the tag division running through teams and prominently featured them. You didn't even have to prominently feature them. You could have just had them keep the defending and winning and retaining their titles.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have established them as dominant. But since you didn't, and now you put them in this position, there's only one outcome: New Day.
New Day. Point blank period. Speaking of something that should be in catering, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, because I don't care.
Yeah.
This will be the match where I'm either on my phone scrolling Twitter or texting someone, you up?
The you up text.
Yep.
Damn. I'm thinking this one will definitely be like my fix my plate or re-up my plate type of match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost certain this is going to be that kind of match.
Yeah. Because what the fuck? It's like what the fuck? Like why?
Yeah.
Y'all could have put the Street Profits defending their tag team titles on this show, but you put this.
And the only thing I can say to this is it's Rey Mysterio, and they're trying to get him another Mania match, payday, whatever, while he's on the downside of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's cool and everything, but still, like, if we're gonna have Rey Mysterio featured in a WrestleMania match, can we at least make it mean something and have it like be fun, or I don't know, just make it something more interesting or something like that? Like,
hopefully that is the case on after Raw on the go home. Like hopefully they add something to it. If they don't, then well, this will be, even if they add something to it, this probably still be my bathroom break, because I just don't care about the whole fake luchador in a mask gimmick.
yeah, it's like, what are we doing? What are we trying to accomplish with this goal? Like, it would be better used if you were going to use this fake luchador gimmick against like maybe Penta or Ray Phoenix or Dragon Lee or somebody like new up and coming that you're having trying to feature, and have him beat them. Like, that would be more like, okay, I'm into this match. And I'm not saying that I'm not into it because of Rey Mysterio. It's just like the whole gimmick and storyline and everything is like, where are we going with this? What are we doing with it?
It's stupid.
All of this
Waste of
to
time.
get a match against Rey Mysterio at Mania? Like, come on, man. You could have did something else with Rey Mysterio at Mania.
Hell, you could have put him in the Intercontinental title scene.
Something. I mean, come on. Like, You could have put him with Dragon Lee and put him in a tag match, a multi tag match against the Street Profits. Is what you could have did.
Yeah, because who cares about brain splits?
Look, do something.
Do something. But we're also doing something which I'm pretty sure is probably going to open night one, and that is Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso challenging the Reign General Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Emotionally damaged Jey Uso, who's in control of all his rage. He's full of rage. He had to watch his brother get destroyed in front of him by Gunther. Got called a pussy and did nothing. The whole thing. And yo, that made me lock in, like I said. However, I am sorry, Gunther, your title reign is over. My pick for this is main event Jey Uso with an emotional win. He's going to yeet. His brother's going to return. Hopefully he doesn't try to screw him out of the title again, like the last time he challenged for a world title. Yeet.
I was like, man, if Gresh don't stop talking, I can't bend back that much further. Like,
no, I'm about to say your back was gonna be like, what the fuck?
Nah, Jey Uso, all
what are you doing,
buddy? Hey, stop it! Like that's exactly what that was about to be. But nah, Jey Uso all the way, bro. Like we already know where this is headed and where this is going. The only caveat I would give to seeing Jey Uso getting beat is if we get the rematch on the Monday after Raw. It has to be some dubious means, a schmozzy finish or something like that, and we get the rematch on Raw. That is the only acceptable answer to Gunther winning that match. But nah, seriously, Jey Uso needs to win. It needs to be a Yeet Mania from Michael Cole line or something like that. Pat McAfee needs to lose his shit.
like
the crowd needs to go crazy. Like, yes. Like, I need to see Jey Uso yeeting with the world title.
Oh, yeah. So, make it happen. Make it happen. Or I am going to tweet my displeasure for wasting my goddamn time. Because we're done here. And we're done with WrestleMania Saturday. That is your 7 matches that have been confirmed. And now we have WrestleMania Sunday. And we might as well start with the first women's match of Sunday. And that is Io Sky defending her women's world championship against Rhea Ripley and, as Wade Barrett says, Bianca Belair.
Hey, man. No funny.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Io's going to retain.
Yeah, you definitely read my mind, brother.
I'm really feeling Io retaining here because she's been the disrespected champion.
Yeah.
This whole build-up, ever since these three got in the picture together.
Yeah.
She's been the afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even from the moment Bianca won the Elimination Chamber and Rhea came out to confront her, when Io came out, it was like, hey, bitch, wait a minute. We got a match tomorrow night.
Like, you just gonna forget?
Bruh, when that happened, that's when the Spidey senses went off. I was like, something up. I don't trust this. Maybe they just throwing us off because they've done that before and they've done it very well in this new era. But I don't trust this. And I should have listened to my Spidey senses because look where we at right now.
Yep, triple threat. Now, them dragging it pissed me off because I'm like, bro, it's obvious that this match is going to be the world. Like, you can literally announce this like 2 weeks in advance, but y'all just dragging it.
Exactly, for no reason at all.
No reason. But I also got Io for the win. Like, I feel like she's going to sneak out. Like, My fail safe is Rhea Ripley takes the pin.
Ain't that so? I'm gonna stick with EO, but like I really want to pick Bianca, and it's not just because of how I feel like she's looking at me right now. No offense, Montez, but I'm just saying, bro. Like they've been disrespecting EO and everything, and they included her for a reason. And you didn't need to include her in order to make sure that this was going to be a great women's world championship match. Because just with Bianca and Rhea, they were going to have a banger of a match, like just them two by themselves. So I'm guessing this to kind of push EO a little bit and also show the feud and the disdain between Bianca and Rhea. But also, I need to go out on the limb somewhere to differentiate myself from what Gresh is picking, so I can try to win.
I get it. I get it. I get it. All right. The next match we have is, I feel like it's gonna blow some people away. A lot of people has been disrespecting it online, and that is the Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. The reason why I say this is disrespected because a lot of people dismissed the last time Damian Priest had a street fight on pay-per-view, and that was in Backlash in Puerto Rico. The San Juan street fight against the one and only Bad Bunny. And what happened? That was match of the night. And they should have main evented because they closed the show with Brock and Cody. But that street fight should have main evented. That's how incredible that match was to me.
Bruh, they pulled out all of the stops and they did so many throwbacks and callbacks and crowd pops in that match. Like, man. But this one, we ain't getting that one. We ain't getting that. We getting big meaty men slapping meat. We getting the Big E classic in this one. It's gonna be hard hitting. It's gonna be violent. I wouldn't be surprised if it went, beyond the ringside area. I don't know, man. This one I feel like Drew needs this win more than Priest does.
Oh, he does. Because I feel like if you really pay attention, Damian Priest has barely lost since breaking up with the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre.
God dang it! You want to change my pick? Nah, but I just think that Drew needs this one more than Priest does, and like you said, Priest has been winning, and his character's still going to stay strong.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew continues to look like a whiny little bitch, and he's going to start to lose some of his luster. He's got to get a win in somewhere, somehow, instead of all this losing.
He snatched his man's chain.
Bruh, come on, man. Like, normally people say the person that gets left laying last is the one that wins, but I don't know.
I'm on the point where this man took his chain. Like, bruh, this man, how disrespectful can you get?
I mean, you can, but it's just like that's a pretty extreme form of disrespect.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So who you got?
McIntyre. I got Drew. Winning.
Cool.
He needs it too bad. He needs it way too bad.
Cool. Another match that should be in catering. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles.
I got AJ, bro. We cannot waste one of AJ's last Mania matches on propping up a part-time Logan Paul. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that they would put Logan Paul over like that. in one of AJ Styles' last remaining Mania matches.
Facts.
I refuse to believe that. Like AJ Styles is not just he's one of the greats in this business over this last like 20 years or so. Like dude is a legend in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't disrespect him like that at Mania by
Nope.
putting over Logan Paul. If this was Carmelo Hayes, or if this was maybe a Chad Gable or somebody, or somebody like that, I could see AJ losing in one of his last Mania matches, but not to a celebrity wrestler. Like hell,
Hell no. To the no. Hell to the no. I'm picking AJ. Moving on, we have the tag team championships of the women's division. It was the Judgment Days, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and Bailey after winning the gauntlet.
I got Liv and Raquel retaining.
Why do I have a feeling Bailey's going to turn on Lyra?
This is why, bro. I'm ready for Hill Bailey again.
Like they didn't tease her semi getting annoyed for losing on Monday for no reason.
I'm ready for Hill Bailey again. I'm ready for idiots. I'm ready for the ding dong hellos. I'm ready for all of that. The harassing Michael Cole viciously. I'm ready for all of that to return.
Facts. The next up, we have a fatal 4-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta.
Okay. Dom is gonna win this match. I was gonna say a Mexican wrestler is gonna win, but
I mean Dom, Penta, Braun.
Exactly. Hey, he's Dominican.
Dominican. Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad.
He's Dominican. But yeah, a white dude will not walk out of there with the title.
The clean one and the dirty one.
Exactly. I got Dirty Dom winning, man. It's time to put gold on Dom. It's time for him to, level up and kind of move apart from the Finn Balor whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it'll end up him pinning Finn. Like there's gonna be something's gonna happen. Braun's gonna spear the hell out of Penta's gonna be like miss a move or something and be down. Braun's gonna spear the hell out of Finn. Dom is gonna like hit him with a chair or something like that or whatever, and then he's gonna cover Finn for the win. I think that's how he ends up getting the title. And this is where you can like I don't know, but it could also catapult him into I don't think it'll catapult him into babyface status, but
it'll definitely move along this dragging tension.
Yeah, I want Dom to win that, and I want him to have a decent little run with this Intercontinental title, retaining it by any means necessary and by the skin of his teeth.
Similar to what he did with the North American title.
Bingo. But do it on the main roster now, with all of this heat around you, with all these guys like coming after you.
Yeah. I feel like the moment Braun loses the title, he should move up.
And I think he will.
So, yeah.
And I think he should be fed to Jey Uso, and that's going to be his test run at the main event level, is a feud with Jey Uso.
Revisiting their Intercontinental brief feud.
Definitely.
I definitely can dig it. The second to last thing we're going to talk about before we get to the main event, Randy Orton. I'm pretty sure, if not, based off of this past Friday, I believe it's probably going to be Randy versus Solo Sikoa. Unless it's
That's
a,
what it's looking like.
unless
Yeah.
it's a red herring and it's someone else.
I like the Randy versus Solo idea because Solo's a guy who can maintain his spot or his level of heelness or his, drawability, whatever you want to call it on the roster with a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can still come out and still be like, I got Tama and I got, Jacob with me, and now Jacob's the champ and I love you, Jacob, and all that kind of thing. And I think that would be the easy way to make sure Randy gets a match and gets a win. Because if you do any surprise return and that person loses, that immediately does their momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say keep it Randy, keep it Solo, let him have his moment in the sun. Solo will eat the hell out of that RKO. Randy will go over, and we go from there.
And be done with it. Point blank.
Bing.
Period.
Yep.
And last but certainly not least, for the WWE Championship Undisputed, Cody Rhodes defends against John Cena in his final WrestleMania before he retires. John Cena sold his soul for this.
Yep. I have Juan Cena winning the title, pissing everybody off.
Bruh.
Because I would love it. And here's the thing. Cody loves wrestling. He loves storytelling, and he loves long-term storytelling and whatnot. Callbacks and all that. What better way to run another story or tell another story than to have John Cena, by dubious means, beat him for the title in the main event of his last WrestleMania, break the record, for most title wins and everything, and then go on to have this heelish reign as the world champion, and I'm leaving the company and blah, 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 only to be stopped by, Captain Cody Rhodes somewhere down the line. Like it's poetic justice, man. I mean, the story writes itself. You don't have to send everybody home happy every time.
Nope.
You can send them home with another shock and awe moment at the end of Mania by having Cena go over. And of course, he's a heel, and it's Cody, and Cody's held the title for just over a year. So It has to be something that helps Cena win. And that something could be, a one-off appearance by The Rock coming back and making sure that, his guy gets his title.
His champion.
His champion.
His lover.
His frenemy.
His zaddy.
You know what? You're doing too much now. Goddamn. Hey, look. I need to fix another drink after that one, because goddamn, I was not expecting that one. I wasn't even. I was not ready. I was not ready. I was not ready at all. At all. Not ready at all.
That's been my thing this entire episode. I've just been trolling Jermaine this entire episode. However, my pick, honestly, truly, honestly, is John Cena as well. I feel like there's some meat on the bones that they can cook with, and they're advertising him for a lot of shows post Mania. So, and I feel like they can literally, there's some stuff that they can do with this heel Cena, and they can even get the authority figures involved with forcing him to come back to work, because he said, "Hey, I'm gonna take this title. I'm gonna sit at home." And they can be like, "Okay, cool. We're gonna force you your contractual your contract obligations that you have to be here. Otherwise, you will be." Like, they can just create some stipulations, like you'll be fined, suspended, or whatever, and your retirement tour ends early. You will never. We won't acknowledge you. We'll erase you. Type.
Hold up. Here's where The Rock comes in, and The Rock's like, you know what? I'm an executive at the parent company level, I say my guy, my champion, can do what he wants to do. Da, 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 da. But you can also see some of that rift start between him and Rock by him going to Rock and being like, "Hey, do I really have to do this shit?" And then Rock being like, "Look, my hands are tied. Like, this is above me." And that could start to cause the rift between the two of them. And then that's where Cody can come in and be like, "So is selling your soul really worth it?" Blah 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 blah. And he comes back and beats Cena and turns Cena back face because he has to tuck his tail between his legs before his retirement tour ends, and then he goes out as a face.
Yeah, I see that, and I see this match hopefully living up to the hype, because the last few years that John Cena's wrestled, haven't been a fan. So hopefully this is a match that shows what he can do as the newly turned heel. Like, what can he bring to the table? He's not the whole overcoming babyface. He's doing the damage. He's the aggressor now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really think, man, that like it's gonna be. I think Cody can lead him to a good match because Cody's gonna know his limitations and everything as far as working in the ring and whatnot, and Cody will work around that with him to make Cena look as good as he possibly can.
Yep.
So it's a good thing that Cena is in there with as talented a in-ring performer as Cody Rhodes with the IQ that he has. So that way they could figure it out, out there. But I think it won't be a great match. I don't think it'll be like 5 stars or nothing like that, or contend for match of the night or match of the weekend for that matter.
Oh yeah,
but I think it'll be a decent match. I think they'll put on a decent match. They're entertainers.
Yeah. They'll entertain us. That is WrestleMania weekend that we got to look forward to. Stand and deliver as well. And that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our step back in memory lane 2004 and to jump back to 2025 to preview and predict WrestleMania weekend. And honestly, it was a fun time revisiting all that. We have no promises that we'll constantly do retro review episodes. It was just something to keep you guys on, like keep you guys entertained while we are stepping back, taking a break. And speaking of the break, after WrestleMania, we will be back live, officially live. We're looking at the 29th, if not the 29th, the 6th. We will definitely let you know by that Sunday. If anything changes, or if we just say, yeah, we're gonna take another week and we're just gonna come back fresh and refreshed on the first week of May, you'll know on all social media platforms. What you got outside of you in Vegas? What you got? Where can they follow you on socials?
Right there at @the_Jermaine at Sucio Sports with a Z. You can follow the gang at CDB Multimedia, at Sucio Boys Pod, at Aim High, and at Dre Lags Pod. Just follow us on all your socials and everything. Support us, support the sponsors, Gel Blasters, In Play Dogs, Dr. Dabber, Look Bel Air, Chocolate Thunder, Eric 710, everybody. Just follow all the sponsors and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. And make sure you guys tap in and stay tuned in and stay dangerous when it comes to the Public Enemies podcast that is going down every Thursday.
I forgot. I do have some stuff coming out under Black Wrestling. I keep forgetting about that. Like and the crazy thing is like I keep having to go back and make sure like we're communicating this and that. But like, yeah, it's some stuff coming out under Black Wrestling. So stay tuned in over there as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. While we're on break over here, I'll be over across the enemy lines, the fourth man, if you will, chopping it up with the fellas over there on Thursday, every Thursday, 7:20 Eastern Standard Time. We will definitely be having a WrestleMania post show. I'm at home, so we're definitely gonna be having a WrestleMania post show talking about everything that happened. So we're definitely gonna be doing that. I will definitely and then we will definitely be back as well. A lot of stuff coming up, like the we're entering quarter 2 of 2025, and so far 2021. So far quarter 1 was brilliant, and now we are on to trying to get bigger and better as the year goes on, and hopefully we are much better than we were when we started. But with that being said, hopefully you guys stay safe out here. If you're in Vegas right now, if you are in Vegas this weekend, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you stay guarded up. If you in a group, stay with that group. It's Vegas. It's a wild world out there. But
hey, make sure you introduce yourself into me before you try to hug me or take a picture with me or something.
yeah, make sure you communicate that. Like, let's be normal. Let's be civil. Y'all was cool when we linked in Philly. Be cool when y'all link in Vegas. Like, just be cool. Like, be normal and be blessed. But with that being said, gotta stay safe out here in these streets, literally. And remember to always eat, sleep, stay hydrated. If you're in Vegas, stay hydrated. And repeat.
Y'all be
Y'all be crazy.